everybody, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we are going to get into a really interesting part of Social Security,
Okay.
and it's called retroactive benefits.
Oh.
And I think this is like finding a hidden treasure in the Social Security system. Like, who knew, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit like finding one of those, checks that grandma put away in the attic that you never knew existed.
Right, exactly.
And yeah, essentially retroactive benefits are like back payments from the Social Security Administration.
Okay.
So if you were eligible for benefits, but for some reason didn't apply right away, the SSA might owe you some money.
Okay, so my ears are perked up right now because who doesn't want a little back pay from the government?
Right.
So tell me who exactly qualifies for this?
So it mainly applies to those who were eligible for retirement or spousal benefits, but didn't apply immediately.
Okay.
So let's say you hit that magic age where you can get those benefits, but you didn't file the paperwork right away.
Right.
Then the SSA steps in and says,
Yeah.
we owe you for those missed months.
Interesting. Okay.
But there's a catch.
There's always a catch.
Always a catch. There's a time limit.
Okay.
There's a 6-month window after your eligibility date to claim these benefits.
6 months. Wow. Okay. That seems like a pretty tight window.
It is.
To have to get everything in order. So
It is. Yeah. So it really emphasizes how important it is to understand the rules and act promptly.
yes, definitely. Now, you mentioned spousal benefits.
Yeah.
Can you just clarify quickly what those are for people who aren't so familiar with that term?
Sure. Spousal benefits are a really key part of Social Security. If you are married, your spouse might be eligible to receive benefits based on your work record,
Oh, interesting.
even if they haven't worked enough to qualify on their own.
Okay.
So it's sort of like a valuable safety net for couples.
I like it. It's like a team effort there.
Yeah.
Now, going back to that 6-month window,
Yeah.
this has my strategic brain thinking of, if you know about this 6-month window, would it be advantageous to delay applying if you are nearing retirement age, but maybe you're still working and making a good amount of money?
Yeah.
Could you potentially claim those months as like retroactive benefits?
Yeah. You're really thinking strategically now, and you've hit upon a key insight there.
Okay, good.
Knowing about this 6-month window could definitely influence how people approach retirement planning.
Okay.
So if you're still working and earning more than one, what your estimated benefit would be delaying your application and claiming those months retroactively later could be a smart move.
Yeah.
But you have to weigh all the factors like your earnings and the benefit amounts to see if it makes sense for you.
Right. It's all about maximizing everything, right?
Exactly.
So it sounds like the rules themselves are pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
But are there common mistakes that people make when it comes to retroactive benefits?
you're absolutely right. The concept itself is very simple, but there are definitely some pitfalls that people fall into.
Okay.
And the most common one is simply not being aware of the benefit in the first place.
Oh, so they don't even know about
You
it.
don't even know about it.
Okay.
And then the other one is waiting too long after becoming eligible.
Okay.
You completely forget about that 6-month window.
Got it.
And then, believe it or not, a surprising number of people forget to keep their address updated with the SSA.
Oh, yeah. That's always a problem with the government.
If that check gets sent to an old address, good luck trying to track it down.
That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So organization and attention to detail are key here.
Right. So reminders, double check your forms, all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
Keep your contact info up to date with the SSA.
Yeah, taking those simple steps can save you a lot of hassle and ensure you receive the benefits that you're entitled to.
Right, because it's your hard-earned money we're talking about here.
Exactly.
So we talked about common mistakes. Are there any sort of unusual situations or, we had some listener questions about things like disability benefits.
Okay.
And even the idea of fraud, when it comes to claiming retroactive benefits.
Yeah, so different types of benefits have different rules.
Okay.
So it's important to keep that in mind for those receiving Social Security Disability Insurance or SSDI.
Right.
The rules are a bit different.
Okay.
You can actually receive up to 12 months of retroactive benefits counting back from your application date.
Wow. So that's a big difference between 6 months for retirement and 12 months for disability.
It is.
Okay. So important to know what benefits you're dealing with.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what about this idea of fraud? I imagine the SSA takes that very seriously.
They do. Yeah. Honesty is always the best policy when dealing with Social Security.
Right.
Misrepresenting information on your application to try to receive more benefits than you're entitled to is a very serious offense.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So it's best to be upfront, accurate, and provide all the necessary documentation to avoid any potential trouble.
So transparency is key.
Absolutely.
Makes the process smoother for everybody.
Definitely.
So to recap, we learned about these retroactive benefits, sort of a hidden bonus in Social Security, mainly for retirement and spousal benefits. We've got that strict 6-month window for claiming them and the importance of being organized and accurate with those applications.
Yes, you've summarized it perfectly.
Okay, good.
Knowledge is power, especially when navigating Social Security, and knowing about these benefits can potentially make a real difference in someone's financial well-being, especially during those crucial retirement years.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really is amazing how this seemingly small detail, this 6-month window,
Right.
can have such a huge impact on how you think about your retirement.
Yeah.
I'm seeing how this knowledge could really help people make smarter decisions about when to retire.
Absolutely. It highlights the importance of being proactive and informed.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just passively, accepting your benefits when you hit a certain age,
Yeah.
you can actually use these rules to your advantage.
Yeah, it's like flipping the script. You're not just following the rules. You're using the rules to help you.
Exactly.
I like it. So we talked about the financial benefits, but what about the psychology of it all? Knowing about this safety net, this possibility of claiming retroactive benefits.
Yeah.
Would that give people peace of mind as they're getting ready to retire?
That's a great point. And you've hit on another key benefit here, the psychological comfort.
Okay.
Knowing you have this option, this flexibility to potentially delay your application without losing out on benefits
Right.
could provide immense peace of mind.
It's like having an insurance policy for your retirement. Life is unpredictable.
Yeah, absolutely.
You never know what's going to happen. Your plans might change. Your health might change.
Exactly.
Having this knowledge just takes away some of that financial stress.
Yeah, it gives you a sense of control over your own financial destiny.
I love it. It's empowering.
It is very empowering.
So it seems like this whole conversation just highlights the importance of really understanding Social Security and maybe even seeking out expert advice.
I couldn't agree more.
What are your thoughts on that?
Social Security is a very complicated system.
It is, yeah.
There's a lot of rules and regulations. And so consulting with a financial advisor who specializes in this area can be invaluable. They can guide you through the complexities, help you understand your options, and create a personalized plan that maximizes your benefits.
Okay, so it's like having a guide in this crazy world of retirement planning.
Exactly. They can help you avoid those hidden reefs and steer you toward a smoother, more financially secure future.
Okay, I like that analogy a lot.
Good.
Now, even with expert help, Social Security can still feel overwhelming.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
There's just so much information.
Yeah, it's a vast and complex system.
So what do you tell people who are just feeling lost?
Well, remember, the Social Security Administration is there to help. Their website is a treasure trove of information, and their representatives are available to answer your questions.
Sometimes you just need to talk to a human
Way true.
to really get it all straight.
Absolutely. Don't hesitate to reach out and ask for clarification.
Yeah.
After all, these are your benefits, your future we're talking about.
It's true. So speaking of the future, I feel like we've only just scratched the surface of Social Security.
Well, we have.
There's so much more to explore, different types of benefits, strategies for maximizing those payments.
Oh, absolutely. We could probably spend hours talking about this.
But for today's deep dive, I think we've uncovered some really valuable insights
What have?
about retroactive benefits and the importance of proactive planning and seeking that expert advice.
Indeed, we have. And hopefully our listeners will be inspired to do their own research,
Right.
explore their options, and approach retirement planning feeling empowered.
Yes, knowledge is power,
Absolutely.
especially when it comes to something as complicated as Social Security.
You got it.
But before we wrap up, is there one final piece of advice
Sure.
you want to leave our listeners with?
Yeah, I love that idea of, feeling empowered about your retirement and Social Security
Yeah.
instead of overwhelmed.
Right. So what would be your final piece of advice that you want to leave with our listeners?
I would just encourage everyone to start early.
Okay.
Don't wait till you're right about to retire
Right.
to learn about Social Security.
Got it.
The more time you have to explore your options, the better prepared you'll be to make good decisions.
That's great advice because, yeah, you're right. It's not something you should just start thinking about at 65.
No,
You should really be thinking about it throughout your whole working life.
your whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And there are so many resources out there that can help you, the SSA website, financial advisors, even online planning tools.
Mm-hmm. There's no excuse to not do your research.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the value of just talking to people.
Oh, yeah.
You've already gone through this,
Right.
family members, friends, colleagues.
Learn from other people's mistakes.
Yeah, their experiences and insights can be really valuable.
Yeah, it's like a collective wisdom bank
Yeah.
for Social Security.
Yeah.
I like it. So I think that's a perfect note to end on. We've explored retroactive benefits, we've uncovered some planning tips, and I hope we've inspired our listeners to take charge of their Social Security.
Me too.
Well, it's
Right.
been a pleasure talking to you as always.
Likewise.
Thank you to all our listeners for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into Social Security, and remember, planning for retirement should be an adventure, not a chore.
Absolutely.
Happy planning, everyone.